So here we are, this is WrestleDX myself, and of course we've been playing wrestling games for a very long time. So we decided to compile some lists of the interesting things that we've seen along the way. This time we're talking about women who have appeared in the Smackdown wrestling video games. So that includes the WF Smackdown from the very first, which is what year did that come out?
99.
99, all the way in through to now, which is 2K18. And of course the series has undergone and transformed through WF Smackdown series to the SmackDown vs. Raw series to now the 2K era, in terms of it now being owned by 2K Games from THQ. So throughout that time, of course, WWE has been rolling and doing their thing all that time. But some things have stayed the same and some things have changed. This is women who have appeared throughout those titles the most. And so, Kevin, some people had some interesting choices in here, good man. So, our producer here, Kevin, our man of the facts. Dude, let's spin up some facts about this stuff, because there's some interesting numbers in here.
As it's possibly no surprise, out of the 20 possible appearances, Trish Stratus has made 14 as the premier woman that has made it into more than anybody else. Lita's managed 12, Stephanie 11.
Now, with Stephanie, would she play? She's been more of a wrestling manager, performer character than an active wrestler, hasn't she? So
it's always been all these numbers that are put together. There's always been a playable element.
Okay,
whether it's an actual active wrestler, a creative wrestler parts, or it's just a manager option.
Okay, they are playable. They're playable superstars. Okay, make that clear.
That's right.
So the next one really surprised me. Okay, because I was like, I didn't even know this person was there for that long. Nikki Bella has appeared in 10 SmackDown games. How is that possible?
Oh, you got to push that Bella brand.
Because
There's both Bellas as well.
That's crazy to consider. But I've never seen like the likes of the Diva Search and all that stuff. But I did not consider they've been there for 10 years as a video game character. I mean, did anyone ever choose to play as them?
Only been a Bella in a wrestling game. Leave your comments. I don't think I've really used either of the Bellas.
No.
But still.
But Natalia, 10 games.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Do you know what doesn't make any sense?
What's that?
The fact that Alicia Fox has only made 7 appearances, and yet she's been in the WWE as an active female wrestler longer than any other female wrestler consecutively. But she's only managed 7.
That's crazy. I guess Beth Phoenix, Edge's wife, she's been around 7 titles. Michelle McCool, The Undertaker's wife, she made 6 appearances. Has she been in the most recent ones? Because I guess her period was about, what, 2010 to about 2014, I guess was her era.
Michelle McCool, the last appearance in a wrestling game was 2012.
Really?
Yeah.
Kelly. So stupid they named her twice, as as Jerry Lawler once said.
Seriously, if you're going to name her, why don't you just use an actual name? Because that's hilarious in itself. Barbara Blank, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's seriously what you got to look at. When you look into her eyes, that's what you can see.
Jackie. She's one of the most talented female wrestlers in the world ever. I mean, she perhaps has had more influence on other women's wrestlers, I guess, outside of Lita, in terms of a trainer, as in terms of as a personality. She herself has managed 6 appearances.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm looking also.
I mean, Mickey James as well. I can't believe that she's only made. Where is that? What's this? Mickey James has made 7.
Mickey James 7.
And 2 of which the last 2 years as well with her reappearance.
Yeah, because
phenomenal talent.
She is. Obviously, she dived out to TNA for a bit.
She is still hot as hell.
Yes, she is. Paige has made 5 appearances in SmackDown games. I mean, it doesn't even seem like 5 minutes since she's been there. Although had an active career there, she's obviously got injured, been out back and forth. Now she's the SmackDown GM. Is she still? I don't know. But 5 appearances, that's just crazy.
5 appearances. And one of those was DLC when she first appeared. She was the bonus, but pay for everything and get all the extra characters in that. She was 2000 15, yeah, 2K15's bonus character for downloading everything.
Download everyone, get page. And
That's it.
there's some really interesting ones as well. So you throw up an interesting fact about Lana this time round.
Yes, this year Lana makes her fifth appearance, but yet this is the very first year she's an active wrestler. The previous 4 years, she was just a manager character, which you could use, but only as a manager.
So in my first online game with the wrestling female, because of course you could play in 2K19. This is. So my first match I had online, I played as Adam Cole, and I won my match the first time I played as a woman. Now Lana, for whatever reason, is only rated as a 70 character. She's the lowest rated wrestler female in the game. So I thought I probably only going to play her a couple of times. So I thought, I know I'm going to play her online, and I did, and I actually won my match by a sneaky roll-up pin, dirty pin, feet on the ropes. Loved it.
Fantastic. Which is probably right down to a character.
I know it because I tend to wrestle in character.
She's not going to hit a finisher and win this year, really.
No, I do tend to wrestle in character when I'm playing with wrestlers on there. So it's fun just to get the roll-up pin and sneaky feet on the ropes. It's cool. So I'm looking at the other talent that's made it in. I guess the Women's Revolution, has seen a lot of talent only appear in the last 2 or 3 years. I'm looking at this and we got Bayley, Asuka, and Candice Michelle, Dana Brooke, Nia Jax. So all rating up about 3 appearances. But Alundra Blaze, Medusa, actually has got one up on all of those. She's appeared 4 times.
Yeah, which is amazing considering how many years she was blackballed.
She hasn't been in WWE for what? How long? 20 years?
She hasn't wrestled competitive. Well, actually, she did appear in the Battle Royal at Evolution, but other than that, the last competitive would have been '96.
Yeah, she's appeared 4 times as a playable character.
Exactly.
It boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. And,
I'm fairly sure it would have been since her Hall of Fame induction, which is the case in a lot of appearances in the game series.
Now, a lot of these women here, this is their first and second year appearances, and of course, there's a lot of those. Zelina Vega, Terry, Sonya Deville. Of course, this is like 2019 is their premiere appearance, really. But I'm looking at characters who've made it over the last few years. I'm surprised that Gail Kim has only made 2 appearances.
Yeah, she's not really had a successful WWE career. I mean, the debuted for the very first time back in 2006? No, 2004. And she won the Women's Championship first appearance in a Battle Royal. And it was a title run that didn't mean anything. And they never gave her the belt again.
No. And then in TNA she really shined from like 2007 with her match against a woman in WWE fans' eyes known as Karma. That is Awesome Kong. And I guess she's actually got 2 appearances.
Sorry. Yeah, 2 appearances. Amazing. But then again, I'm surprised she actually made that many because in the WWE she really didn't make that much of a splash at all.
No, she was literally came in. Didn't she end up being pregnant? Didn't she? That was what it was.
Yeah, it was a really unfortunate segment. I don't understand how it got past anybody, but from what I can remember, she dominated all these women over this past month. All of the women's roster came to the ring. She was in the middle of the ring, and they looked all set to attack her. And from what I was to understand, they were supposed to all attack her, and she was supposed to burst out in big show style and then start wiping out everybody. But instead, she stood there in the middle of the ring, just started crying. And that's just go to commercial.
Yeah,
and all was revealed about the pregnancy. It was an odd moment.
Yeah. Other women appearances. So Jazz, the talented woman that she is from ECW, going to WWE, she had 2 appearances herself. Sable, the wife of Brock Lesnar, only made 2 appearances in SmackDown games. That I actually thought she was there for much longer as an extra character, floating in and out the background.
Well, she may have been through other series of games like I think WWF Attitude.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
not really. And yet Ivory, of all people, made it into 7 of these titles.
Hell of a talent. Ivory's awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Any other extra?
Sorry.
I was going to say any other surprises on there of a number that actually really does surprise you.
Oh, Candice Michelle actually making it into 3 appearances, considering she only had 1 title run and she was only actually good for about 3 months out of a 4-year career.
China, the legend that is
China only 2 appearances.
So this is Smackdown games. So she obviously appeared in the very first game because she appeared on the front cover of the first Smackdown game.
First 2 games, and she appeared on the cover of both of those.
So was that her only 2 appearances?
That was it. 1 and 2. That was it. Never appeared in again.
So what's the looking as well? So we had. I was going to say you go man.
Even Deborah made it into 2 appearances. Steve Austin's ex-wife.
Yes. Sherry Martel.
Marie made 2 appearances, and she can't wrestle for shit.
Gillian Hall as well, the ring announcer. She's in there too.
And does anybody anywhere remember Joy Giovanni?
No.
Anyone?
No.
Anywhere? 1 appearance, and she was god awful at the time. The Cat, Jerry Lawler's actual wife, back in 2001. She made it in for 1.
I know it's not exactly a Yuke's game memory. In WrestleMania 2000, the outfit where she comes out dressed in bubble wrap is in the game as a costume in WrestleMania 2000 on the N64.
Because of course it is.
Of course it is. But we're getting away from ourselves because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the 2K and the Versus games and the SmackDown games. But I think that kind of rounds off interesting facts and thoughts of stories of the women who have appeared most and odd appearances in the SmackDown games. This is WrestleDX plus Alpha, and we'll see you next time for our next interesting fact.